Hey everybody, welcome to week 3 of our English 1010 online course. This week is a pretty exciting week because we just wrapped up our summary project. Project 1 is done. You guys turned it in, and this week we're beginning Project 2. We're going to talk a little bit about that at the top of this video. I'm going to give kind of like an overview of what we're focusing on this week and next with Project 2. I'm going to talk a little bit about the videos and the assignments for this week, and I do want to spend some time looking at the Project 2 assignment description. And of course, keep your ears perked up for the chat check-in prompt, which is going to be dropped in this video. All right, I'm going to switch it over to our Canvas view and we'll get right to it. Okay, so here we are at the home page. We've already done our whole Project 1. So I don't know if you have this ability, but in my Canvas view, I can like collapse a project. So that's what I'm going to do here because we're done with Project 1. We're moving on to Project 2, which is a response paper. We're going to think back about education in our lives and think about where we have been. So that's kind of like an overview of what we're going to do. This response paper is going to take 2 weeks, so we'll work on it this week and next week. And one of the key things to note about this project is that we're using 2 texts, okay? So heads up. Last project, we only dealt with 1 text, which was your ability to can even. And this project, we're going to talk about 2 texts. So we're going to look at Aria by Richard Rodriguez, which is linked right here. It's a PDF. You can download it. You can print it out. You can read it right here. You can, scoot it around so it's upright. So this is the main reading for Project 2. But we're also going to put another reading in conversation with it. We're going to look at this piece by Victor Villanueva. He's a very well-respected scholar in my discipline of rhetoric and composition. This piece is called The Voice of Voices in the Writer of Color. One thing to note about this is that there is like a little column here that is not by Villanueva. And so this is where it actually starts. The Voice of Voices in the Writer of Color by Victor Villanueva. It's a pretty short piece, so that's why we're using it to just be in conversation with Rodriguez. It's going to help us formulate our response. Okay, so as you know, from the home page, you can look at week 3 and see everything that you need for this week. There's the week 3 overview, the Project 2 assignment description, which we'll look at in a little bit. There's the 2 readings, and then every assignment for this week in chronological order. So first, you'll do your handwritten annotations, and this week, I'm going to ask you to do your handwritten annotations on the Villanueva piece, and your perusal annotations will be on the Rodriguez piece. So we're doing 2 separate readings, 2 separate sets of annotations. So keep that parked in your brain. Side note, I had so much fun these past couple of weeks reading through your perusal annotations for your ability to can even. You guys are so smart and so respectful, and you had really good dialogue with one another. I was really proud of you. Okay, so the other 2 assignments are just 2 project builders for this week, because this week we're getting familiar with the readings and we're starting to wrap our minds around what Project 2 is going to ask of us. So let's look at our week 3 overview page and kind of break it down day by day. All right, so I'm posting this video a little bit early so that you guys have time to watch it on Monday when I actually assigned it. Again, I apologize for last week. I was not on my correct Apex schedule yet. But this week's instructor video that you can watch on Monday, which you're already doing, so high five. Read Villanueva and do your chat check-in and your handwritten annotations for Villanueva. Try to do that around Monday, Tuesday, so that on Wednesday you can watch my overview video. It's like a mini lecture where I'm going to talk through the Rodriguez piece, like kind of step by step. Definitely have Rodriguez read by then, and shoot for your perusal annotations to be done on Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Friday, we're going to think about what you're going to do with Rodriguez and Villanueva, which is write a response. So watch the reading response mini lesson, check out the grammar vid. We'll look at that. Review Rodriguez. It might take you a couple of reads to fully sink your teeth into his main argument in this piece, which is why I'm assigning 2 project builders. So I'm assigning this strategic reading response, and I'm assigning just like drafting some potential responses in terms of the mini lesson video. So I'm going to give you some like templates for ways you can respond to Rodriguez, and then I want you to like practice with those for Project Builder 3. And then watch the little vid on Sunday. So the videos will all be linked here. The instructor video and the Rodriguez video I'm working on. Your response mini lesson, the grammar vid is all about pronouns, so check that out. And this little vid is an interview between Ellen DeGeneres and a person I think is just heroic and awesome, Malala Yousafzai. She is being interviewed by Ellen. If you've never heard of her, I highly recommend like doing a little Googling. Watch her acceptance speech for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right. This young woman won the Nobel Peace Prize. She's really fierce in her stand for education. She values it so highly. She put her life on the line for it. And it's just a powerful, powerful testimony about education. So watch this little vid. And here's your chat check-in 3 prompt. Malala here is in this little vid is talking about education and what it means to her. And this week we're also going to read 2 other pieces, the Villanueva piece and the Rodriguez piece, that talk about education with mixed levels of comfort and good feelings. So what I want you guys to chat about in this week's chat check-in is what are the connections you see between what Malala is saying, what Rodriguez is saying, and what Villanueva is saying. Do any of them agree with each other? Do any of them disagree with each other? How? Why? It might be more subtle than you think, so you might need to like have a little bit of dialogue about it or pose some questions to your classmates. But compare and contrast Malala, Rodriguez, and Villanueva's take on education. That's your chat check-in number 3 prompt. Okay, so moving right along, I'm just going to hit the next button because now I want to talk through the Project 2 assignment description. We're working on a response paper here. It's going to be due July 19th at midnight, so that's a Sunday. It's going to be 2 to 3 pages, so this is going to be a little skosh longer than your summary, but I don't want anyone to get scared. It's not going to be that traumatic, I hope. Fingers crossed. Okay, so what we're doing with this response is we're beginning to participate in the moves that are so key in collegiate level reading and writing, which is where you're participating in a conversation. Almost all, or maybe some would argue all, academic writing is created in response to what has already been said. So this is what we're doing. We're going to build on your summary skills by adding to it summary and response. So you're going to be reading the Rodriguez text. That's our main text here. And listening to what Rodriguez is saying. What is his argument? You're going to read other texts, examine your own experience, and think through relevant world connections to formulate a response to Rodriguez. So that's why we're going to read Villanueva, and you're going to examine your own experiences and think about real world connections So your paper definitely needs to have an original idea, your response to Rodriguez, but it also needs to speak to Rodriguez's argument. So for this paper, you need to be able to accurately summarize and formulate your own argument in response. So in the summary, we did not say, I agree, I disagree. But this is where we do get to say that. You can agree, like Stacey London, or you can disagree, like Oprah here. But either way, you're going to be engaging with Rodriguez and using some tools to help you formulate a response. So in this article, the primary article is Aria by Richard Rodriguez, and you will be using Villanueva's article as a secondary text to help you respond. Now, you need to engage with Rodriguez's argument. You need to be able to accurately summarize it, but you get to choose how you respond to it. And we're going to use our good old connections, text-to-self connections, text-to-text connections. So definitely need to generate your take. This is the text-to-self connections. What are you connecting with in Rodriguez, or what do you agree with or disagree with? And we're also going to use text-to-text connections by using Villanueva to help us connect those two texts. Much like we did in Project 1, you guys will be creating a reflection letter at the end to turn in with your final draft. And then look at Kid President telling us the things that we're going to be working on, our learning objectives of reading, writing, reflecting, and using technology. We're using all of the course learning objectives in this project. So you can look here for kind of an overview of the elements. We've got process work. Obviously, we're going to be doing rough drafts and peer review. I'll have open office hours, not this week. Well, I'll have office hours this week, but I'll have conference hours next week. And the rubric is here. So this is what we're doing. We're building on our summary skills. Yes, you're going to use summary in this paper, but you're going to add on to it your response based in your experiences, text to self, and based on other texts, text to text connections. Okay. I think that about does it for the overview of Project 2, our assignments and our videos. So I'm going to pull it out to our full view and close out this video. All right, I think that does it for our Week 3 overview video. I hit on a lot of things, so if you have any questions, make sure that you utilize the Ask and Answer board on our Canvas site, or you can shoot me an email, or you can go to your tutors for help also. So don't forget, Tyler and Shuhel are ready to help you, and they have put their announcements already on the Canvas page. They have given you their contact information. So all three of those are great ways to access resources to get support. Last announcement is that yes, I am in the midst of grading your Project 1s, and I will get that feedback back to you as soon as possible. My goal is to have them done by the end of this week. It may push a little bit into next week, but I appreciate your patience as I work on giving you guys good quality feedback on your projects.